Hello, welcome back. Are you ready for more exciting additions to your diorama? Today we will be talking about how to make Native American people and other artifacts using some of the things that are around you in the world and things that were in your bag. So the first thing I want you to do is you're going to take your yarn, black yarn that we gave you, cut it into about 4 or 5 pretty long pieces like this, and then fold it in half and slip your pipe cleaner in there and just do 1, 2 really tight twists. So you have the yarn halfway and 2 really tight twists. That's going to be the top of the head of your Native American person. Now, it doesn't matter if your pipe cleaner is sparkly or ugly or plain or whatever, because you're going to cover it with the clay that we gave you, okay? Now, after 1 or 2 tight twists, I want you to take the one side and bend it about 1/3 of the way. You don't want it too long because that's going to be the arm, okay? You bend it toward the body. Oh, that's too long because we still need legs with this. I would say about the length of your thumb. The top of your thumbnail, sorry. Bend it and then twist it around right under where you did the head and make it go down. And you see that's half of your body. That's going to be the head, the arm, and the leg. Then you do that with the other side. Bend it, not too long, about this long, and twist it around the middle. And then you see you've got your body and your leg. Now, really squeeze these tight, the arms, so they look like a line, okay? Now you're going to take your clay and just take a pinch of the clay. I would say about the size of a, what is this? I don't know. The size of a almond, maybe a little bigger. And hold the hair up and the body and put the clay around where the hair, the yarn, and the pipe cleaner meet. You're going to put clay around that, and you can see that's becoming the head of your figure. You want to make sure it goes all the way around the back and seals so you can mold it. Don't worry, we'll mold it more later. Now you have a little mask like a head. Then you get a little more clay. Same thing about maybe an olive. How about that? Cover one of the arms. So none of the pipe cleaner should show. It should just be the arm. You can move. The great thing about clay is you can keep moving and working with it while it's wet and not dry. Then you might want to bend your arm a little bit. And when you do that, you have to cover again. Okay. I did half of my Native American so I could, why in the world is that so hard for me? There, I did half of mine so I could show you. Here's the half that's not covered. And here's the half that is covered. So we have, one thing I did was I decided this Native American is going to be carrying a spear. So I put it in his hand and pinched the clay around it. So when it's dry, it's already in there. Then you cover the rest of the leg and the rest of the arm, and you will have a Native American person, okay? Now, you probably only got 2 pipe cleaners. You can find other things that you can cover with clay. Pipe cleaners works the best. I hope you have some at home, and if you don't, make less people. You can make babies by just making the shape or covering something smaller. Let's see, what else could you cover that are babies? Something smaller, but I also want to show you, if we don't have enough clay at the end, you should have plenty of clay. So then you want to start making artifacts. So artifacts you can make out of just about anything. You don't have to go out and buy expensive pre-made things. And if you want to make them from the red clay, that's fine. If you want to make them from a lighter clay, you can take any kind of bread, wheat bread, white bread, even a tortilla. I'll show you. And you can, even marshmallows, and you can smash the dough together and then wet it. Put a little water. What I do so I don't make a big mess, I put a little bit of water in a little plastic cup that you probably got from a restaurant or the school lunches that you pick up. And then I just wet. Here's a piece of bread. I take the what do you call it? The crust off. And you've got some bread dough, smash it together, and then just dip it into the water until it makes a dough that you can really work with. You mash it up. And now I went ahead and made a little basket out of my dough. And you see it's pretty rough. It's got some cracks in it. That's okay. I also made a tinier basket with my dough. And I don't have any orange paint. So I wanted to make something that looked like corn or squash in my basket. So I found a little cutie that was getting kind of rotten. And I peeled the skin off. And I have these tiny little pieces of orange that I can either fold or cut to make the shape I want. And then I put them into my basket. See? Now let's say, so I said you can use toothpicks for spears, and you got toothpicks in your box of materials. What about, this is one of my favorite, spaghetti. Spaghetti is great because you can break it any length you want. So let's say I wanted to have a fishing pole. I can break it, stick it into the clay, and it can be whatever length I would like. Okay? You can cut after the clay dries, you can cut the hair, or you can braid the hair. You can use all kinds of things. I went outside and brought in a big twig, I guess. Not too big. Big twig. And I've been making things with that. So I took lentils. I took my egg carton. I guess I'm going to try and get the camera down so you can see. Oh, there you go. I took my egg carton and I ripped a circle out of it. And I put lentils around. I couldn't find a lot of stones. There are some, but I just wanted to show you. I can get anything from my house, lentils. And then I took these twigs. I put some glue on there, but we know we can use flour and water. And I put twigs on there. And look, I have a little fireplace. Maybe I'll use another little branch. And I have a little fireplace now, because we know that Native Americans used fire to stay warm and to cook their food. And later, when the glue dries, I can try and figure out ways to make it look more like a fire. I can use food coloring. I can use markers. And I can color all kinds of things. Here's my tortilla plate full of things that I could choose. I even took rice and put some food coloring in one of my cups. And I dyed the rice. I don't know if you can see this very well. I dyed the rice purple because if they had grapes, they could dye things. And we know that the Native Americans in the 1300s, 1400s, they dyed porcupine quills and made them for beautiful things. So you can just do whatever you want to make all kinds of little artifacts, and make sure that if you're going to sit your My fire fell. Sit your person down. You do it while the clay is wet. So when it dries, they stay like that. It's harder to make them stand, but if you're going to make them stand, then make sure that the feet have enough. The feet are level and they have enough of a bend here in the foot that they can stand up. And then you just have to balance it, which may be difficult, but you can use your spaghetti to prop them up. I'm going to poke my spaghetti in and prop him up like that. Okay. I hope that this gives you some ideas, and I hope that you have a great time being as creative as you are, making your own Native American people and artifacts.